Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today is a client tutorial again because they seem to get a lot of positive feedback on my channel. So I'm first starting off with eyebrows, and I'm using the Anastasia dipbrow in soft brown with the Zoeva 317 winged eyeliner brush. So I'm first outlining the shape of her eyebrows, and as you can see she has very thick eyebrows, so I don't need much of this product. And then I use a spoolie to brush the product through the eyebrows so it's not as harsh. This is my all-time favourite new eyebrow brush because it's so thin and precise. It allows you to do the exact shape that you want without dispersing too much product. And to shape the eyebrows, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Concealing Porcelain on a Morphe G28 brush. So I'm first outlining the underneath of the eyebrow with the concealer and then placing on top of the eyebrow to just sharpen it up a little bit. I'm then taking a flat brush and placing this concealer all over the eyelid. I'm then taking a damp Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponge and patting out any creases in the eyelid. So I'm setting the eyelid with this Inglot 373 eyeshadow, and through the process of this video you might see little creases in the eye to begin with, but it all gets blended out when I take my shadows, which is Peach Smoothie and Chickadee by Makeup Geek. I'm taking this on a Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush and buffing this through the crease. As you can see as well, I've also applied tape to the eyes because I went for a really dramatic, sharp makeup look. And after I've put this colour into the crease, I'm going to be taking a Morphe blending brush. I don't have the name of this brush because it's somehow come off, but it's from the Rose Gold collection. I'm constantly building and building the pigmentation of these eyeshadows, and as you can see I'm going back in with that Morphe fluffy brush with no product to just blend out the edges seamlessly. As you can see there's no harsh lines. You don't want to be able to see where the eyeshadow stops or begins. I'm taking the same Zoeva brush and buffing these two shades underneath her eye before going in with darker shades, which I'm going in with Makeup Geek Tan Lines on the same Zoeva brush. As you can see, I'm bringing these shades right into the inner corner. This is because I'm going to be doing a cut crease, well, cutting the lid, and it's better if you bring them into the inner corner so you can actually see where you've cut the lid. And then picking up my Morphe 350 matte palette and using this really bright orange shade, as you can see here, to make the look more vibrant because I was going for a dramatic sunset bright look. I absolutely love using bright orange colours on blue and green eyes because I think it makes them stand out so well. So I'm using this shade under the eye as I did with the Chickadee shade. As you can see, her eyes look very green because of this shadow. Now it's time to cut the lids. So I'm using the same LA Girl Pro Conceal with a flat brush, and I'm beginning in the centre of the eye with minimal product because you don't want to start with too much because it's just going to go everywhere. And I'm slowly building my way up out to the sides. So I first started by going in the inner corner, then the outer corner, then blending it down the lid. It's very important to not start by just placing it all on because it's going to go everywhere, and also start lower than you need to go and then slowly building your way upwards because you don't want to start too high because it's harder to take away. And after I've done this, I'm setting it with the same Inglot shadow with just a fluffy flat brush. I wanted to add a little bit of pink to the look, so I'm using Venetian Red with a Zoeva 224 brush, which is my new holy grail. It's just a tiny brush and it stays where you want it to stay, so it doesn't blend the product all the way up to your eyebrows. So I'm just placing this on the outer corner and I'm blending it into the white shade. Now I'm taking Cypress Umber with the same brush, which is the most pigmented dark brown I've ever used. I absolutely love the Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm just using this to deepen up the look, but I don't want it to overtake the pink on the eye because it's defeating the purpose of the pink shadow. Now, to add more deepness, I'm taking Corrupt by Makeup Geek with the same 224 brush and placing this even further out than the Cypress Umber shade so you can create a gradient with the eye makeup. I just realised I said deepness rather than depth, sorry for my grammar. I'm then taking the Venetian Red shade underneath the lash line with the Morphe MB16 brush, but I'm making sure it's not taking over the orange shades. Then I'm using the Maybelline gel eyeliner with a clean Zoeva brush that we use for the eyebrows, and I'm just creating a line across the eyelid. As you can see, I'm lightly pressing on the eyelid, which kind of reveals the skin hiding by the lash line to make sure the makeup look is extra dark. I'm now taking Corrupt to set that gel eyeliner, and this step is essential for people with hooded eyes because the gel eyeliner doesn't set very well, so it'll transfer to the top of your eyelid and it'll ruin the whole makeup. So I'm then taking Corrupt again on a littler brush, which is the Morphe B16, and placing this at the end of the eyeliner to smoothen out the edges so you just don't have a harsh line, and blending it out with the same Zoeva 224 brush. Now doing the part that my clients hate, which is putting gel into their waterline. So I'm using the same Maybelline gel eyeliner with the same brush and placing this from inner to outer corner of the waterline, and then taking the small Morphe brush we use, which is the B16 brush, with Corrupt and smudging out that eyeliner. Now for my favourite bit, highlighting the inner corner, and I'm using the Inglot Sparkling Dust in the shade 7 with a clean Morphe B16 brush because it's just little and precise and it's amazing. So I'm using this for the inner corners and above the brow bone, and as you can see, my client Ellie was very enjoying this. And then going in with Prima Lash lashes. So when you are watching this video, you'll see that I apply the lashes but then put another pair on top. This is because I didn't think they were dramatic enough. With a look so dramatic, you need more. So I removed the tape and now it's time for foundation. And I'm using the EX1 invisiware foundation in the shade 3. Excuse how far away we are, I'm going to zoom in any second. So I'm just applying those lashes with a tweezer. With the same LA Girl Pro Concealer in Porcelain, I'm using this to clean up the line created by the sellotape, and also placing this under the eyes, on the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, the forehead, and I think I also placed it on the chin. Taking my damp Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponge and blending this all in. Make sure to be careful around the delicate areas where there's sharp lines, because one little slip and it's ruined. As you can see, the eyelashes didn't do the makeup justice, and also the lash glue was drying, which is sorted out in a minute. I'm contouring the face using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Chestnut and just drawing this on the cheekbones, on the forehead and down the sides of the nose. I'm going to blend this out with the Morphe M492 brush first of all, and then I'm going to use my sponge, as you can see here, to blend out any sharp edges, because I prefer sponges rather than brushes. I don't find they do... I don't know, it just leaves all streaks and I really don't like it, so I have to go in with my sponge. Now it's time to set the face, and I'm using the Coty airspun powder as always. To set the contour, I'm using the Bahama bronzer on a Morphe M405 brush, which is my new favourite contour, bronzer, blush and everything brush. And then I'm using a smaller, more detailed brush, which is the Morphe M412 brush, and using this to contour the nose. To blend out the contour a little bit, I'm using the MAC Give Me Some bronzer with the same Morphe brush. And then going on to blush, which is the MAC Peaches blush, which goes with every single makeup look I do. I couldn't live without this blush, it's absolutely amazing. I have no idea why I'm moving so quick, so I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus Spray to make the face damp, ready for highlight, which is the same Inglot No. 7 highlight. And I'm using this on the Morphe B8 brush. Look how amazing that highlight is. I'm in love. So I'm placing this on the cheekbones, on the cupid's bow, on the nose and down the centre of the nose. And then I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara with a disposable lash wand as always. As I said previously, I'm applying a more dramatic pair, so I just trimmed these down and applied them to the outer corners of the eyes. But while the lash glue is drying, I decided to do lips, so I'm applying the MAC Spice Lip Pencil. We couldn't decide what lip to do, so we started off with the Jeffree Star Liquid Lipstick. I think I started with Celebrity Skin, but then we wanted to brighten it up a little bit because it was I don't know, we just fancied it being a little bit brighter. So we applied I'm Nude in the centre of the lip, also by Jeffree Star. So I'm just popping on the lashes, and once the glue is semi-dry, I'm going to apply the No. 7 Stay Perfect Liquid Liner, which I don't like the applicator of, but it's the mattest eyeliner I've ever used. And then I'm setting the eyebrows with the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. Once this is all complete, I'm setting the face with the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day, which is my favourite. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe and comment. I'll just see you in the next video. Bye everybody.